Welcome back to my YouTube channel Coins History Coins VC. Today we are going to explore 4 amazing and historical coins from the United States. Don't skip the video because each coin has a unique story and hidden value. Top 1. The United States of America, $quarter 1966, no mint mark. Liberty is an important and historic coin in modern American numismatics. This coin belongs to the famous Washington Quarter series, originally introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of America's first president, George Washington. The 1966 quarter was struck during a very special and challenging time in U.S. coin history. Throughout the early 1960s, the United States experienced a serious coin shortage. Rising silver prices caused people to hoard older silver coins, especially those minted before 1965. As a result, the U.S. government made a major decision in 1965 to remove silver from circulating dimes and quarters. Therefore, the 1966 quarter is part of the first generation of clad, non-silver, quarters, marking a significant turning point in American coinage history. The 1966 quarter dollar was produced by the United States Mint, but it carries no mint mark. From 1965 to 1967, mint marks were intentionally removed from all circulating coins to discourage collectors from hoarding new coins. Even though no mint mark appears, most 1966 quarters were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, with additional production at Denver. However, unlike other years, you will not see a P or D mark on the coin. This makes the 1966 quarter unique within the Washington Quarter series. On the obverse front of the coin, you will see the left-facing portrait of George Washington. The word Liberty appears boldly at the top of the coin. The national motto, "In God We Trust," is placed to the left of Washington's neck, and the year 1966 appears at the bottom. The design was created by sculptor John Flanagan, whose initials JF can be found near Washington's neckline. Flanagan design remained in use for decades and is considered one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history. The reverse back of the 1966 quarter features a majestic bald eagle with wings spread wide, symbolizing American strength and freedom. The eagle stands on a bundle of arrows, representing military readiness, while 2 olive branches beneath the arrows symbolize peace. Above the eagle's head is the inscription, United States of America, and below it reads E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. At the bottom of the reverse, you will find the denomination quarter dollar. This powerful eagle design was also created by John Flanagan and remained in circulation until the state quarters program began in 1999. In terms of composition, the 1966 quarter is made of copper-nickel clad rather than silver. Specifically, it consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, with a reeded, ridged edge. Unlike quarters minted before 1965, the 1966 version contains no silver, which significantly affects its melt value. While earlier silver quarters are valuable for their silver content, the 1966 quarter's value is primarily based on condition and collector interest. The mintage of the 1966 quarter was very high, with over 821 million coins produced, making it one of the more common dates in the Washington Quarter series. Because of this large production, most circulated examples are worth only face value, 25 cents. However, coins in uncirculated condition, mint state, can be worth more, especially if they have strong luster and no visible wear. High-grade examples certified by grading services can command higher prices in the collector market. Additionally, rare error coins from 1966, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on wrong planchets, can be significantly more valuable. Historically, the 1966 quarter represents America's transition from precious metal coinage to modern clad coinage. This change was authorized under the Coinage Act of 1965, signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson. The law eliminated silver from dimes and quarters and reduced silver content in half dollars. The goal was to stabilize the coin supply and prevent further hoarding. As a result, the 1966 quarter symbolizes a major economic and monetary shift in U.S. history. Collectors often search for 1966 quarters with strong strikes and minimal contact marks because many coins from this period were poorly struck due to high production demands. Finding a sharply detailed eagle and clear hair details on Washington can increase a coin's desirability. Although it is not rare, the 1966 no-mint mark quarter remains an essential piece for anyone building a complete Washington quarter collection next top 2. The United States of America, quarter dollar 1967, no-mint mark. Liberty is a historically important coin in modern American currency, representing a key transition period in U.S. coinage. This coin is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birth anniversary of George Washington, the first president of the United States. By 1967, America was still dealing with the nationwide coin shortage that began in the early 1960s, largely caused by the rising price of silver and public hoarding of older silver coins. Because of this economic pressure, the U.S. government had already removed silver from dimes and quarters starting in 1965. Therefore, the 1967 quarter belongs to the early copper-nickel-clad era and contains no silver, marking it as part of a significant change in American monetary history. The 1967 quarter was struck by the United States Mint, but like the 1965 and 1966 issues, it carries no mint mark. During the years 1965 to 1967, mint marks were intentionally removed from all circulating coins to discourage collectors from hoarding newly minted coins. Even though no mint mark appears, production took place mainly at the Philadelphia Mint, as well as Denver and San Francisco facilities. However, none of these locations placed identifying mint letters on the coins during this special period. This makes the 1967 quarter another interesting example of U.S. mint policy during the coin shortage crisis. On the obverse front of the coin, the familiar left-facing portrait of George Washington is displayed. Above his head appears the word Liberty, boldly struck along the top rim. The national motto, "In God We Trust," is positioned to the left of Washington's neck, and the date 1967 is located at the bottom of the coin. The design was created by American sculptor John Flanagan, whose initials JF can be found near the neckline of Washington's bust. Flanagan design was selected in 1932 and remained the standard quarter design for decades, becoming one of the most recognized images in U.S. coinage. The reverse back of the 1967 quarter features a powerful bald eagle with its wings spread wide. The eagle stands on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing readiness to defend the nation, while olive branches beneath the arrows represent peace. Above the eagle is the inscription, United States of America, and across the top of the eagle's wings appears the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. At the bottom is the denomination quarter dollar. This strong patriotic imagery reflects the values of strength, unity, and peace that were important national themes during the 20th century. In terms of composition, the 1967 quarter is made from a copper-nickel-clad structure. The outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, with a reeded edge. Because it contains no silver, its intrinsic metal value remains close to its face value. This distinguishes it from quarters minted before 1965, which were made of 90% silver and are often worth more for their silver content alone. The total mintage of the 1967 quarter was extremely high, with over 1.5 billion coins produced, making it one of the most common Washington quarters ever struck. Due to this large production, most circulated examples are worth only their face value of 25 cents. However, coins in uncirculated mint state condition can be worth more to collectors, especially those with strong luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp strike details. High-grade examples certified by professional grading services may command premium prices. Additionally, collectors sometimes search for mint errors from 1967, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or other unusual variations, which can be significantly more valuable. Historically, the 1967 quarter reflects the impact of the Coinage Act of 1965, signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson. This legislation permanently changed the composition of American circulating coinage by eliminating silver from dimes and quarters and reducing silver in half dollars. The goal was to stabilize the currency supply and restore public confidence in circulating coins. The The 1967 issue stands as one of the final coins struck during the temporary removal of mint marks, making it a notable date within the Washington Quarter Series' next top 3. The United States of America, $quarter 1988, D. Liberty, is part of the long-running Washington Quarter Series, one of the most recognizable coin programs in American history. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, and by 1988 it had already been in circulation for more than 5 decades. The 1988 D quarter represents the modern clad era of U.S. coinage, produced for everyday commerce during a time of economic growth and technological modernization in the United States. The D mint mark on this coin indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major branches of the United States Mint. By 1988, mint marks had long been restored to U.S. coins after their temporary removal from 1965 to 1967. On the 1988 D quarter, the small D mint mark appears on the obverse, front, of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail and below the word Liberty. The Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of quarters that year to meet the demands of circulation across the western and central United States. On the obverse, the coin features the familiar left-facing portrait of George Washington. Above his head is the word Liberty, boldly engraved along the rim. To the left of Washington's neck is the national motto, "In God We Trust," and the date 1988 appears at the bottom. The design was created by American sculptor John Flanagan, whose initials JF can be seen at the base of Washington's neck. Flanagan's portrait is based on a bust of Washington originally sculpted by French artist Jean-Antoine Houdon in the 18th century, giving the coin a strong historical artistic foundation. The reverse of the 1988 D quarter features a powerful bald eagle with its wings fully spread. The eagle clutches a bundle of arrows, symbolizing national defense and readiness, while olive branches beneath represent peace. Above the eagle's head is the inscription, United States of America, and across the top of the eagle's wings appears the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one. At the bottom is the denomination $quarter. This reverse design remained standard from 1932 until it was replaced in 1999 by the State Quarters Program. In terms of composition, the 1988 D quarter is made of copper-nickel clad metal. It consists of outer layers composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and features a reeded, ridged edge. Because it contains no silver, its intrinsic metal value is very close to its face value of 25 cents. This composition had been standard for quarters since the passage of the Coinage Act of 1965, which removed silver from circulating dimes and quarters. The mintage for the 1988 D quarter was high, with over 596 million coins produced at the Denver Mint. Due to this large production, the coin is very common in circulated condition and is typically worth only face value. However, collectors value uncirculated examples, especially those in mint state, MS65 or higher, condition with strong luster and minimal contact marks. Coins that have been professionally graded and preserved in high grades can command higher premiums. Additionally, proof versions of the 1988 quarter were struck at the San Francisco Mint, with an S mint mark, but those are separate from the Denver circulation strikes. Some collectors search for error varieties among 1988 D quarters. While no major widespread variety is known for this date, minor errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or doubled dies may exist and can increase value depending on their visibility and rarity. Well-preserved coins with sharp details in Washington's hair and clear feather definition on the eagle are considered more desirable. Historically, the 1988 D quarter represents the stability of U.S. coin production in the late 20th century. Unlike earlier decades marked by silver shortages or major design changes, 1988 was a routine production year focused on supplying coins for daily transactions. Yet, even as a common issue, it forms an essential part of any complete Washington quarter collection covering the next top 4. The United States of America, $quarter 1980, P mint mark is part of the historic Washington Quarter Series, one of the longest-running and most widely collected coin series in U.S. history. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the birthday of George Washington. By 1980, the design had already been in circulation for nearly 50 years and had become one of the most familiar coins in everyday American life. The 1980 P quarter represents the modern clad era of coinage and reflects the economic and minting stability of the United States during the late century. The P mint mark on this coin indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is the original and oldest mint facility in the United States. The Philadelphia Mint operates under the authority of the United States Mint. Interestingly, 1980 was only the second year that Philadelphia quarters regularly carried a P mint mark for circulation. Before 1980, Philadelphia coins traditionally did not display a mint mark, except for certain special issues. The addition of the P mint mark helped distinguish Philadelphia coins from those produced at Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. On the obverse, front, of the 1980 P quarter, the coin features the classic left-facing portrait of George Washington. Above his head is the bold inscription Liberty. To the left of his neck appears the national motto, In God We Trust. The date 1980 is located at the bottom of the coin, and the small P mint mark is positioned to the right of Washington's ponytail. The design was created by American sculptor John Flanagan, whose initials JF can be found at the base of Washington's neck. Flanagan's portrait was inspired by an earlier bust of Washington sculpted by French artist Jean-Antoine Houdon in the 18th century, giving the coin artistic and historical depth. The reverse back of the coin displays a strong and symbolic image of a bald eagle with its wings spread wide. The eagle stands on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing military preparedness and national defense, while olive branches beneath the arrows represent peace. Above the eagle is the inscription, United States of America. Across the eagle's wings appears the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one. At the bottom of the reverse is the denomination quarter dollar. This iconic eagle reverse design remained in use from 1932 until 1998, when it was replaced by the State Quarters series. In terms of composition, the 1980 P quarter is made of copper-nickel clad metal. It consists of outer layers made of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters with a reeded, ridged edge. Unlike quarters minted before 1965, it contains no silver, meaning its intrinsic metal value is very close to its face value of 25 cents. The total mintage of the 1980 P quarter was high, with over 518 million coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Because of this large production, the coin is common in circulated condition and usually worth only face value. However, collectors seek out uncirculated, mint state, examples with strong mint luster and minimal contact marks. High-grade coins certified MS-65 or higher by professional grading services can bring a premium price. Additionally, proof versions of the 1980 quarter were struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark, but those are separate collectible issues designed for collectors rather than circulation. Collectors sometimes search for mint errors in 1980 P quarters. While no major widely recognized variety exists for this date, minor errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, or doubled dies may occasionally be found. Coins with sharp details in Washington's hair and clear feather definition on the eagle are considered more desirable. Historically, the 1980 P quarter represents a time when U.S. coin production was focused on meeting everyday commercial needs without major composition changes or redesigns. It also marks the early period of Philadelphia's consistent use of the P mint mark on circulating coins. Although not rare, it is an essential piece for anyone assembling a complete Washington quarter date and mint collection covering the